I'm walking this way realizing I can't because, fantastically enough, my Amazon lights blew out over there, so that's real great, but it's not what today's video is about. Like I was saying, thank you guys. We're there. We're right at monetization. We're a couple hours away. In the next few days, the email will be able to be sent away to start the monetization progress, and I can actually start to focus on, I don't know, more quality content. I feel really bad lately. I've just kind of been pushing some random content to get it out. With that now being to a point where monetization hit, I don't have to do that. I can take a few days and focus on quality. I should have been doing that in the beginning, and that probably would have got me to monetization faster, but it is what it is. We're here. It's been a long 3 years. I'm going to make an entire video about monetization and where we started and how we're at now, yada, yada, yada. It's not what today's about. Today is about powder coating stuff, which it kind of always is, but it isn't, but I don't know. We're going to be upgrading some stuff, that's what I mean. So we have some fittings in before I describe these guys, and these, I'm going to explain to you how a traditional powder coating hopper works. So we're hopping over here. You notice I have colors stored like this, then my traditional storing is just leave the colors in the bags. That works to me the greatest. The colors in the jar are actually part of the hopper system that I was talking about. We'll be showing you, and we're replacing with those fittings. So over here, these are like Columbia Coatings specific. It really sucks trying to get more. They're expensive. I think I bought 12 for the price that I could buy 200 of the Amazon ones or something like that. But so we have these. We're just gonna grab a random, I'm gonna grab clear coat because I'm gonna be taking the clear coat out of this and transferring it into a new one. But so we have clear. You notice it's in this little plastic top. I can screw the lid on and off. You come over here to the actual hopper for the gun, and the same top is utilized. They just have some fittings screwed in. They're hot glued to be sealed. And how this works is the air supply is pushed down into the powder, which is supposed to essentially fluidize the powder bed, or it's supposed to make it float around in there. So then that way it can be sucked up by this and then pulled through the line and into the gun. This works well, but only so well. You have to monitor your powder levels very, very well. So about halfway, maybe a hair more than half on one of these 2-pound jars is about as much as you'll get away with. Over the last few days, trying to production level shoot some stuff, like just trying to knock out tons and tons of parts, I filled up the Illusion Cherry that I've been shooting a little more than I probably wanted to, and ran in, it still kind of is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the light or not, but I got about 3/4 of the way full compared to about the quarter to half that you're supposed to do, and this thing was just barfing powder out. You can see there's literally just, it's just, I mean, it was just flying. I had to sweep up, made such a mess, and that actually almost had a problem because I put so much powder initially down trying to fight the settings because nothing was working air-wise, KV-wise, etc. These are all dusty, but I almost put too much powder down on the initial layer that the clear coat, when I went for the second layer, was fighting tremendously. Just the worst thing in the world. So because this is pushing the air down, it's not, I mean, you're basically getting air through this little fitting, and that's trying to fluidize the bed. And that's where these fittings come in from. What is this? Printroverted custom 3D printing. It's on the powder coating forum I'm on. I found their fittings listed. They make aluminum ones, but they're 3 times the cost of these 3D printed ones. So I tried out a couple sets of these. What we're going to be doing is we're going to modify some of these Amazon containers. Instead of the 2 pounds, we went down to a 1-pound container because basically I don't fill that up anyways. So, I mean, 1 pound, 3/4 of the way full, if that will allow me with these fittings, which I think it does, we should be good to go. Instead of this giant Rambletron like I've been doing, let's just get some of these tossed together in a time lapse and then start to fill it up, and then we'll talk about, demonstrate, and see how this all works. All right, now that we have the fitting set up, we're gonna run down here and we're gonna see what we're actually coating. And oh, I've made a little bit of a mess here. So kind of started to clean one up. These are Dana 44 hubs. Couldn't really say that. Yeah, they're gross. That whole diff set, leaf springs, all that's gross. Everything basically shows up looking like this. And yeah, that's just a quick wire wheel. I just like to clean off things. I don't have a strip tank, so quick wire wheel on everything before it goes in the blast cabinet. Can't keep doing this because we don't have enough time tonight to run back and forth, blah blah blah, do all that stuff. So we're actually going to cheat this, and with the power of YouTube magic. Man, that's my favorite YouTube trick in the world. Editing that way is super easy. But yeah, so nothing fancy. Quickie little just once over with the beautiful Scat Blaster. Thing just knocks it out of the park. Wish my air compressor was a little bit better. So like 11, 12 CFM this is. Should be like 28 CFM would be magnifical. Yeah. Trying to think what's next besides... I got the big oven upstairs already heated up, so let's run these guys up there, get some red on them, get them flashed out, and get them going. Before I do that, I am going to quickly clean off these little guys to have a little bit of clear coat on them from the last job, and you need a really good ground. So once over through the booth and then upstairs. So let's get it going. Alrighty, so we saw fittings installed. Quickie little, I guess we're not gonna call it B-roll or anything like that. It was just a quick, it's B-roll, what am I saying? But yeah, I reused the little liner in the cap, just made the hole. This is another cap to keep things clean. Again, another cap for the airline. You hear it has a check ball in the bottom. And so the way these work compared to the other ones, actually here, I have a spare. I have a spare one of the old hopper lids. So as you see, air comes down, has to try to fluidize and then pull back up this way. Versus this one, we're fluidizing, gets everything this, and then just comes straight up out the top. Pretty simple. I'm attaching this to the, well, I'll show you guys that part in a second, but instead of going through and, you know, trying to pull all my other colors out or anything like that out of the storage, let's see if I can get this thing to sit, actually. Don't fall. All right. I do have a couple pounds of the red left to finish that job, but because I knew I was doing this, I'm going to be setting, I'm going to end up getting more of these. If I really, really like them, I'll buy the aluminum versions, which would be pretty cool. But I'm going to do one for clear coats, one for like metallic colors. I'll get more, do one for like just solids, one for darks, lights, I don't know, something like that. I might get fancy, who knows. That's still all as me thinking that, you know, powder coating might take off, might not, whatever, etc. I did break one of the caps because I'm an idiot. It was a little bit too aggressive. But when I was rambling on about there real quick, I did buy some outgassing primer for some of the nastier parts I've been doing. Might try some of that. I'm gonna throw that in there. But the main thing is I got just a regular old pound of the regular. I just got a pound of Illusion Cherry Red, which is what that color is. So instead of having to pour from the 4-pound bag, I'm pouring 1-to-1. I'm realizing now this is gonna suck because I can't. There's no way to set this down. That may have been a flaw in the plan here. We're gonna get these two hubs cleaned up, done some Illusion Red, which means red, and then clear coat, 2-stage it, get the big boy going. I guess I could start heating this up now, but let's go ahead and get the color pour. Yeah, man, I'm just on a ramble today. Crazy. Let's be smart about this. Be smart for once in my life. Alright. So before, with the old hoppers, I couldn't do a pound. Those are 2 pounds and I couldn't even get half, like quarter-ish. And I started to get mad. So we will definitely be testing the ability of this guy. So cheers. So, typical Hellojojoe fashion. They're already taped up, plugged, Yeah, didn't show any of that. Fantastic that the lights blew out, how the old setup was, the feed tube, all that stuff. We're getting rid of that, which actually means I can pull up the quick release on this, pull this down, and if you notice, this is actually the same fitting as the 3D printed guy. I'm not going to throw this away or anything, because I'm saying locks, I'm trying to think. So I guess I'm just going to clean the gun out real quick. Quick air blast, double check it, get the fan on, get some red on this thing. One glove for this, 2 gloves. We saw the struggle bus with the red. I think, to be honest, I did it again. So these, I don't think they want to be 100% full. I think they want to be half, a little less. Maybe, I don't know, somewhere in there. I should have used the bigger jars, I guess, if that's the case. Obviously, experimenting needs to happen. Sweet, these look good. Let's see if I can get them out without bumping them. Oh, that's hot through the glove. That's hot through the glove. Woo! So while this is open though, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the temperature on toss these guys back in, even though the oven is off, just to warm them back up to about 120, because they dropped down a little cooler than I wanted to be, honestly, and I dropped the hook also. But, so like I was saying, I let those guys warm up to about 120, let the big guys cool down, and while the big guys cool down, and those warm up, yada yada yada, ramble ramble ramble, I will go downstairs and continue working on the next parts of the next thing and this blah 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 blah. It's late. I still gotta get this video edited, posted for tomorrow, etc. Got lots of stuff behind you. Here, actually, come here. Alright, now that you're in my hands, everything has a little bit of powder on it, obviously. Let's see if you can actually see this. Been restoring these leaf springs for the guy. I gotta get a new center bolt still. That's not touching, just floating. All this is all good. This is, someone asked before, is this for my truck? No, this is for customer, essentially. I don't know. I got powder all over the screen. Great. Okay, so like I was saying, this for a customer, essentially. The blue stuff is for my truck. I got powder all in my mouth, all in my face. But yeah, it's just a way to make money on the side. We are so close to monetization. So while I got you here, hit that like, subscribe. Hit a like button that's down there somewhere. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Notification bells, and I'm going to remind you at the end like I always do, because it's, yeah. I'm tired, I'm rambling. Everything is looking good. No powder in the surfaces that I don't want powder to be in. Oh, no. You can come out. You can come out. Usually I pull the plugs before I bake it, but I always end up forgetting. So usually is never. Like I said, ramble ramble. Let's get downstairs instead of going to bed. YouTuber life. It's that wake up, grind till you go to sleep, and you usually go to sleep really late, wake up really late, and
tell me you're too excited to film a clip without telling me you're too excited to film a clip when you completely forget to turn the audio on the camera.
Alright, so... Vlogging these, because I don't want you guys to see this. We're popping up the phone real quick. While these are cooling down slightly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop up a little bit of a screenshot that I took just a little bit ago. I don't know if it's going to focus. I think it's going to here. There we go. We officially hit the hours, boys and girls. We are in the review program. We're being reviewed to be monetized. This door keeps trying to touch my arm. There we go. But yeah, we did it. After 3 years of not being monetized, not making a single dollar, we hit the point where we're going to start to do something. A few days ago, I actually was monetized on Instagram as well, which is pretty rad. This is all happening, you know, all back to back, which is blowing me away. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for however much time you're taking out of your day, night, whenever. Even if you're sitting on the toilet or, you know, whatever's going on, you're spending time out of your day to watch the videos that I make, which is, again, it means the world. Thank you so much. After 3 years of not getting any money, now I'm going to start to make a little bit more, which, like I've said a million times, I'm going to start putting a lot more effort into the channel. A lot more, better camera angles, more cameras, better editing, better music, more frequent content. I'm going to start trying to do that daily content thing. Just, I know to a lot of people, content creator isn't a big job, but I mean, it's 12:35 at night. I still have to now take all these clips, go in the house, edit them. The wife and baby are asleep, so I have to try and be quiet doing so, get it all done, and then post it for in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's kind of grind, but it's worth it because I get to do what I love. I'm building cars, I'm building trucks. And like I said, we're going to be taking these trucks, we're going to be taking these cars, we're going to be doing so much more from now. We're going to be pushing this channel to a whole different level. We're going to be taking it different states, different places, races, etc. But while I'm doing this whole ramble, my ass is cooking standing in this open oven door. So yeah, this is very uncomfortable. I'm trying to hold the door with my foot, and you can't see these just yet. We're going to throw a little bit of B-roll in here, and then we'll get an outro going. But yeah, I'm just really excited. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in just a few. Oh so amazing B-roll, but yeah, you can't really, it's hard.
What do you mean by that?
It doesn't do it justice. Oh wait, I'm trying to show you guys a flashlight and I don't have my flashlight on. Yeah, that's real great, Joe, real great, but I don't know if it does it any justice, especially with me in the way. But such a gorgeous color, came out amazing. I gotta get the tape off the threads and stuff, but yeah, pretty excited there. Just so ecstatic about the monetization thing, getting these hubs done. I got little, I think these are cool enough for me to touch. Yep, these guys, sides came out super good, but they're just little wedge plates. They outgassed a little bit, even though I outgassed them 50 times. This is why I got that OGF, it's outgas primer. Basically, you put it on a little hotter than you normally would, and or you leave the part a little hotter than you normally would, and it puts on a layer that supposedly doesn't let that happen. But if you noticed, as I was spraying the clear, I started to get the setup finally the way it was supposed to be. I raised the base pressure on the regulator up to about 60-65 pounds, and then I had barely adjusted this pressure. I think what it was is I didn't have enough base pressure, and so it was fighting how much powder I had in the hopper, and then in the adjustment, I don't know. Could be, could not be. I'll have to spray some more stuff, some testers, figure it out. But I'm tired. It's 12:30. I need to go edit. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Go ahead, if you want, hit that subscription button, notification bell on to be alerted for more content. Stay tuned for more. And with that, I'm out of here. Average Joe Builds. Enjoy your night, guys.